I have a representative from each of the bands which took part today to the stage. Livingston and from Lochgelly for representatives of those bands in the hall, please pop up to the stage and join the rest. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to begin the presentation ceremony. So to start, let me welcome to the stage the President of the Scottish Brass Band Association, Kerry Boakes. And with her, representing band supplies, Ronnie Tennant and his wife, Anne. And representing Four Bars Rest, Ewan Fox. Our intrepid contest controller, Peter Fraser, MBE. And representing Clackmannan Band, Julie Johnson. And listening to every note were our adjudicators, Paul Holland and Stephen Mead. I'd like to start by asking the President of the Scottish Brass Band Association, Kerry Boakes, to sum up what she saw and heard of this weekend's brass band competitions. Kerry.
Deep breath. I was going to say good evening, but it's actually good afternoon, which I think deserves a round of applause in itself. So I know that I haven't had a chance to speak to many of you in the course of the day. You'll probably have seen me running about in many different ways, but first of all, if I haven't spoken to you, thank you so much for being here. The people are so important, and SABA's road to recovery is all about protection just now. Protection of our people, protection of our sponsors, protection of the staff who work with us here at Perth, and protection of one another. And if we can do that individually and collectively as a band organisation, then I'm sure that we will start to recover and be stronger than ever. And when we return here with everything crossed in March, then our bands will be much better placed for it. So thank you all for making the effort, making the journey, overcoming every hurdle that we probably never ever imagined would slap us in the face, to be quite brutally honest. But I know it's been worth it. It's certainly, standing here as the president of our organisation, it feels worth it just now, and I do have a smile on my face. The prospect of being home early is an extra bonus. However, the downside of that is that some of our bands couldn't make it today, and to them, I offer my thanks. I have spoken to many of them, and I understand fully making that sad and maybe tragic decision not to get to the stage was a really hard one. So please remember that another day will come, a new day will dawn, and you will all be back here, hopefully in March, and playing again, if not before. A word or two of thanks from the Scottish Brass Band Association. Firstly, to the concert staff in Perth. John Pike is the COVID manager who has become Tom Allen's new best friend in the course of the past month. And if you're if you're involved at all in organising your band secretaries, conductors, you'll know how many hurdles we've had to overcome to be here. But between John and the hall staff, the stage management, the cleansing staff, the front of house staff, we all wanted one thing. It was to make this happen as safely as possible. So could I offer a huge thank you to everyone involved in the Perth Concert Hall team. mentioned protection of one another, and we are very fortunate to have continued through lockdown to find new ways to reach out. And the SABA hashtag, if you've noticed on Twitter, has been to keep connected. And whatever way we have been able to, we have tried to keep connected so that when we came back to making this wonderful brass band live music again that we've witnessed so fantastically this weekend, then we would be in a better place for it. I'm really grateful to those people who have helped us and continue to help us to make events like this, but also our lockdown and our challenging events happen over the last 18 months. Thanks go to Creative Scotland, who continue to support the work that we as an organisation do. Not only have they supported us over the past 19 months with our youth projects and events, but they have recognised and realised that brass banding in general has needed support through financial and many other ways behind the scenes that I can share with you if you need to. So I need to offer a huge thanks to Creative Scotland, and it looks like, without releasing too much information, that their support will continue, which delights me, and I know that our education team and our bands and players and people that have benefited from all of this support from Creative Scotland will be delighted too. Furthermore, we have, as you've seen today, through the advertising, through the banners and the conversations being had, we're delighted to continue to have sponsorship for the festival weekend from three key organisations. Besson, who sponsored our Scottish Open, the Band Supplies, who have sponsored today's event, The Challenge, and sponsorship through 4 Bars Rest for the Best Player Awards over the 2 events. Can I offer them a huge thanks, and I sincerely hope that we can continue to strengthen the partnership working, but help it to grow and develop for the benefit of every single brass band around the country. Thank you to you all. I do always miss someone or some group out, so before I move on, yesterday morning, I actually had a tear in my eye yesterday morning as I watched some pirates roar onto the stage, and the smile on my face was glowing from ear to ear. We were unfortunately unable to have our youth championships, and many of you who are involved in youth bands know the complexities of trying to return safely to our youth banding here in Scotland. But we did invite, and we were delighted to invite, our Colburn Bronze Band, who, after the hurdles of a network shutdown, which meant that they couldn't get the sound system to work, we were able then to put on a fantastic performance yesterday, and that was followed by our National Children's Brass Band of Scotland, who were delighted not only to be on the stage to perform again, having had a fantastic summer course at Strathallan School, but they were back together again socially, and that's so important for our National Youth Brass Bands, when our young people, and I can see many of them today, catching up, staying connected, being with their friends, and being in their happy place, as one of them said to me yesterday. So could I offer a huge thank you to those 2 youth groups who performed, and also the SABA Education Committee who helped to make that event happen. Thank you to them. I did promise to let you go home before it got dark, so I am going to finish, and I know that I will have missed someone out, but hopefully in the programme, my thanks in the programme and my welcome in the programme, you managed to see. Finally, to the volunteers, I absolutely cherish every single volunteer that works on behalf of SABA. We're all bands people. We all passionately love what we do. And I think that that is what strengthens our organisation. There are many organisations, I stand here today and I make no excuse for this, but there are many brass band associations and organisations, not just across the border, but in other parts, who look to SABA and look to us to be a leading light. And the strength and the key to that is the fact that we all work together, we're all equals, and we all do our bit for the banding movement. I'm not going to mention any individual names because I always manage to forget someone, but for them, it's been so important to help them today to get back to banding by doing what they love, which is to help you guys who performed, who played and who conducted. So finally, I'll finish Before I do, can I wish you a safe journey home, and please make sure you've got your snow shovels, I think, for some parts of the country. But can I finish with our diamonds, our volunteers, our SABA volunteers? To every one of them, can we offer a huge, huge thanks? I never ever thought last March that my new friend on the stage would be a 1 metre stick and a bottle of hand sanitizer, but that's what it's become. It has been an absolute delight to be here, very emotional. There are people who aren't not sadly with us. Jimmy Stewart and Mary Stewart, two of our dear friends in SAB, are not here today. I'm not going to get emotional, I did say that. I'll leave you with this. Please, please, please go back to your band halls. Please, as difficult it is, keep making music. If you can, safely, get out at Christmas, enjoy the festivities, and remember that this is the first step getting back to what we love. Thank you, safe journey, and I'll see you in March.
Well, of course, the weekend would not have been anything like the success it was without the support of Band Supplies Scotland and Ronnie Tennant. I'd like to ask Ronnie, as the sponsor of this day's events, to pop up and say a word about what he saw and heard here today.
Thanks, Alistair. It's been tough times, we all know that, and I would just like to thank Carrie and the SABA team for making sure this all happened. It just doesn't happen on a weekend. It's months, years of planning to get all this done, and over the past 18 months we've all had our difficulties, and I think the reason we're here today is because of their efforts for putting this on and obviously making it available for us to come and perform and listen and most of all enjoy ourselves. And after all, that's what it's all about. We're all here because we enjoy doing what we do, we enjoy the movement, and it just shows you how strong the movement is when, in the face of adversity, we've seen so much sacrifice for people to get themselves here this weekend. So I really want to thank SABA from the bottom of my heart, really do. Kingdom Brass, well done. British champions, well done. Just shows you what hard work can do. That's 2 years in the trot, or well, okay, we've had a gap, but Scottish bands have gone down and won a British championship, and really, really proud of that. Well done indeed. Thank you. It makes it all worthwhile when that happens. All the people that have arrived today have all, I think, enjoyed themselves. It's been uplifting to see so many young people here as well, because at the end of the day, we rely on these people coming through to keep the movement progressing and moving on. And hopefully, if things do go according to plan, we'll be back here in March and we'll be sitting, doing the same things, and again, competing and enjoying each other's company and getting the movement going and keeping it going. And lastly, the people who couldn't be here today, I'd just like to reflect on that. Okay, that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ronnie. And listening to every single note, although sadly not able to see the bands, were our two distinguished adjudicators, Paul Holland and Stephen Mead. Yesterday, we heard from Paul, and today I'd like to ask Stephen to come forward and tell us what he and Paul heard from the bands which took part in this year's Band Supplies Scottish Challenge. Stephen Mead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We've had a fantastic 2 days here, and we've really enjoyed today. I want to say, firstly, it's been a pleasure to sit in the box with Paul Holland. We've met before, but never worked like this before, and it's been absolutely fantastic. We've had some great discussions and no disagreements, so it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Paul. Thanks to Saba. They've been thanked many times today, and quite rightly, and also to Band Supplies. Today, the overwhelming feeling we had was one of joy, because although we couldn't see you, we got a sense of what it meant to all of you to be back on stage playing again. We fully understand all the challenges, getting to rehearsal, dealing with all the COVID situation, and some of your colleagues occasionally being unavailable for various reasons. So we sense joy, we sense the release of energy, whether you were playing the most difficult test piece today or another piece from our repertoire. This sense of playing great music, and we love the choices that you picked, frankly. We loved all of them. One or two only were maybe slightly ambitious, but hey, why not, you know? Why not go for it? Some really classic pieces, some state-of-the-art pieces, and you might think it is difficult to actually compare between the pieces, but of course we're listening for all the things that make a band sound good. We're looking for the basics: good sound, good control, accuracy, good tuning, soloists delivering their beautiful solo lines, good section work, and what we couldn't see but really appreciated, some very fine direction today. We can hear when a band has been well trained, a band has been disciplined, where all the lines and balances on the score come through. So congratulations to the MDs. Let's, whether you love your conductor or not, let's give them all a round of applause right now. Okay, so we heard pretty much everything today. We heard some really great experience, some maturity in the solo lines. You could just hear that these people that really knew what they're doing. And we heard some great, what we put down as youthful exuberance. And boy, that really touches our heart as educators to hear that. Somehow we have to create a rank order for all of that. But at the end of the day, frankly, we think that you're all heroes. We think you're heroes for being here, having the courage to sit distanced on stage. Some of you may not have played under this kind of pressure for a very long time, and your heart rate was up, and maybe you were thinking about it for the last few days. You made it. You're here, and you did it, and we enjoyed every single performance. There was one that we thought was really outstanding, and two or three others of really notable merit. Well done to all of you, and we hope that you've enjoyed it too. Thanks a lot.
Well, now to the moment of decision, and let me remind all the bands that the scores and remarks will be given to band representatives immediately after the presentation. And if you have won a prize, would the prize winners go to the table to collect the prize and then to the banners at the back of the stage for a photograph? So, the first award is of a £100 voucher for the best soloist, donated by 4 Bars Rest and presented by Ewan Fox, and that goes to the euphonium player of band number 9, Kingdom Brass. The next award is the Anthony Hope Memorial Trophy for the Best Horn section, and that'll be presented by Julie Johnson from the Clackmannan and District Band. And that goes to band number 9, Kingdom Brass. In 4th place, to receive an engraved glass trophy, is band number 13 with 185 points, Johnston. In 3rd place, to receive £100 and the Sabbath Challenge trophy. Sadly, this trophy is stuck in Northern Ireland by Storm Arwen, but the winner will get a substitute trophy and the real one in the fullness of time. With 186 points, band number 7, Colbensel. In 2nd place, to receive £200 and the Bowness Fair Bowl with 187 points, band number 5, Bathgate. Now, the highest placed band in each section receives £100 and a glass trophy, and the best 4th section band is number 8, Kilmarnock. The best third section band is band number 4, Dysart. And the best second section band is band number 6, Lochgelly. And the best first section band, and taking first place overall to receive the Scottish Challenge Shield, £300, and a commemorative banner with 190 points, is band number 9, Kingdom Brass. Well, that completes the prize giving for this year's Band Supplies Scottish Challenge. Just let me remind you that we hope to be back here in Perth in the concert hall on the 12th and 13th of March next year for a full weekend of great banding in the Scottish Championships. But for today, thank you all very much for coming and being such an appreciative audience, and we look forward to seeing you at the next event.